We've talked all night about the athletes that we're going to speak with tonight. And this first one, I don't think any New Yorker will ever forget him. He's not a Hall of Famer. He wasn't in the Pro Bowl, but he gave us one of the greatest moments in New York City sports history. I remember sitting in my basement watching that game and that catch on my big screen TV and just pulling for the Giants, and I couldn't believe it. But let me introduce him. He's best known for his exploits in the 2008 Super Bowl when he helped his team, the New York Giants, defeat the then undefeated New England Patriots. The signature play of that game was this man's phenomenal catch of an Eli Manning desperation pass during the Giants' final drive of the game. It is known as the helmet catch. During the play, Manning narrowly avoided being sacked and threw a deep pass that our guest caught and pinned to the top of his helmet during his jump. Often overlooked is the fact that earlier in the game, this Super Bowl hero caught a touchdown pass to put the Giants on the scoreboard. He was drafted by the Giants in the 6th round of the 2003 NFL Draft. He was a student athlete at Syracuse University, where he played the position of wide receiver. In 2005, he did earn a Pro Bowl selection as a special teams player. He married his college sweetheart, Layla, and they are expecting their 6th child. Wow, that's a tribe. 6th child in November. Please welcome and put your hands together for David Tyree. David, we're going to watch a film clip of that remarkable catch. And then I'd like you to take us through those moments that were going through your head as the play unfolded.
Let's do it.
Let's watch it.
Good deal. All right, I got to square off. Any Giants fans out here? All right. You know, we got that jet fever, that gangrene is going around. I got to be careful. Obviously, that was a tremendous moment for all of us, New York City, New Jerseyites. I'm born and raised in Jersey. I can't get away. Love it. But it was a special moment, obviously, for the sports fans across the world. It's kind of the David and Goliath story, so to speak, and I got a chance to play a part. And my part, obviously, you never expect something like that to happen. No one is, lining up in that huddle and expecting what they call the greatest play in Super Bowl history, let alone myself. I'm the least person, and I'll often challenge people when I get a chance to share. How many people probably knew my name up until that moment? Exactly. Y'all get it, right? Y'all get it. It's like 5 of y'all in here, and that's great. It just shows the testimony of God's greatness. It's something I do like to share about it. The play was called 62WideCellUnion. Your football players are getting aroused, right? I like that. And it was just a typical play. I was running a post, and obviously, it kind of turned into one of those moments where you were in the backyard, and the quarterback says go deep, and you come back, and you're just drawing stuff in the ground. They used to do that back in the day, but, that's kind of what it turned into because, obviously New England had a great team. They put pressure on Eli. And when you're in that moment, it's obviously just a moment. It's like, wow. It's kind of like Chariots of Fire, like dun, 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 dun. It's just kind of stuck up there for a little while. But it was a very special story that I like to share behind that. The night before, I was praying with some people who were very close to me. I call her my spiritual mother. Her son was on the team. And I like to share the significance. And I might be going ahead, but I just think it's great. I like to share the significance upon that moment. And it basically speaks to how intimate God is in my personal life and what I believe he likes to be in all the lives of his children. The night before the game, as I was praying with my spiritual mom, she said to me 4 things. She said, David, God is going to quicken your feet. And then she said, David, God's going to give you hinds feet, like the feet of a deer, so you can jump high. And then she said, David, the Lord is putting spiritual glue on your hands. take some of that. And the last thing she said, the Lord is going to give you the big play. And so obviously, some people know me, for my faith. And but a lot of people think you're being overly religious when you say something like God did it. I know fully well that I took a big part in that situation as well. But obviously, I don't think you'll see a moment or too many more moments like that. I'm not saying there won't be a greater catch, but I don't think you'll see too many moments where you see somebody with a you're grabbing an oblong-shaped ball on the side of your head with a Siamese twin on your hip. So it was really a tremendous testimony to the Lord Jesus for that night, and choosing the least of these in myself to be able to help my team and win a Super Bowl for the New York Giants.
David, you mentioned that you were relatively unknown going into that game. Afterwards, you were on the cover of Sports Illustrated. You were the hero of the Super Bowl. You won an ESPY award. What was that like as an individual to experience that?
You know what? It was kind of overwhelming, just in all honesty. I think, especially when you're a guy like myself and you're used to being that guy that's either on the cusp of being cut every year or fighting. Some year I fought for the third receiver position. You never know what to get. And you just kind of go in with faith, believing, what God has given you. And that moment just totally flipped my whole world upside down, and now I'm flying out doing Ellen DeGeneres, Jimmy Kimmel, Sports Illustrated, and then was actually on the cover of Sports Illustrated later because this moment had proved to be something that was quote-unquote historical. And it was a lot. And, I remember when I came home from Arizona, it was one thing that I felt God was really impressing upon me, and he said to me this in my quiet time. He said, David, don't take my glory. And the truth of the matter is, we as athletes, we're waiting for that moment. We're waiting for that moment to come out of the shadows to prove that we are who we believe ourselves to be. And I think God wanted to really impress upon me that, go all these places and do all, but that moment belongs to me. And you're a servant of mine. If I entrusted you with something that is far greater. And so it was very important to me to be a steward of the platform. I felt God had given me a platform. Funny, we stand up here on a platform. And so I felt God giving me a platform to be, number one, a man of God, to be who I am in the public as I am in the private. And I think we're at a severe lack of that as far as people who are in the public who actually care more about character and integrity than prestige. So that was very important.
You've obviously talked a lot about your relationship with God, but we know you had an encounter with the Lord that really changed your priorities, reset your life focus, and a lot of it had to do with being a husband and a father. Can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, I would love to. In my years at Syracuse, I struggled with alcohol, binge drinking up in college, doing what most young guys and, young people do. But, my struggles actually, became rooted because of so much rejection as a young kid. I grew up in a divorced home. And, you don't really know what you're dealing with, at those type of ages. So you kind of revert, whether you're reverting to women, alcohol, or whatever outward expression of those inward struggles. Those were some of my struggles. And essentially, it all kind of came to a halt after my rookie year. I had all these accolades. And but I had special teams rookie of the year. I had a great, successful football campaign. But I was still stuck in my own mess, so to speak. And I eventually ended up getting arrested on marijuana possession, which kind of put me in my place. And everybody has to eventually reach that place where they realize that you're needy. And I really, ultimately, those are the things that our own ability to do so much and accomplish so much and to will to perform and do so much is actually, for the most part, what separates us from an encounter with the living God. Well, I was broken that day when I got arrested. It's funny, sitting here with an ESPN analyst, as I was sitting in that jail cell, all I could think about was dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, But, and my name going across that ticker, So all I thought about was my name going across that ticker, and I said, God, all I know is I need you, and if you would allow me to keep my job, I'd appreciate that too. That's a real prayer. I ain't have time to be throwing no Hail Marys up. I was real. So, no offense to anyone, but, truly that was my prayer. And within a matter of days, I saw God begin to, orchestrate things. He literally took the taste of alcohol out my mouth, which I struggled with since I was 14 years old, removed every female out the picture, and, set me on a path to know him. And that was the most dramatic encounter that I have, and ever since it's been an honor to, just to be a husband now, a husband and a father, soon to be 6.
Amen.
Appreciate
That's
it,
great,
man.
David. Thanks for your example. And thanks for catching that pass.
You all ready?